starts right now.
The need for answers intensifying. 3 weeks since the Uvalde school shooting, and there are still questions about what happened inside Robb Elementary. And now there could be more obstacles in the way. State Senator Roland Gutierrez continues to share what he says he's been told. Last night, he said that DPS Director Stephen McCraw told him that 12 to 13 troopers were inside the building during the shooting. Now, today, DPS wanted to explain that those troopers went in and out of the school to help evacuate other classrooms. Gutierrez joined us on our KSAT Q&A this afternoon to double down on his comments and the need for answers.
About 3 children probably bled out and might have been saved. And so those families deserve to know what occurred.
Gutierrez also questioned Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell Busby and the delay in answers. He said that Busby told the Uvalde Leader News, which is the local newspaper in Uvalde, that her office's investigation is going to take at least 6 months. There are also concerns that a loophole in Texas law could prevent information on the Uvalde shooting from ever being released. Tonight, Team's Lee Waldman sat down with a state representative who's been fighting for years to get the law changed.
Government information is open to the public, right? It belongs to us. That's the default setting. Then we have certain exceptions to that rule.
State Representative Joe Moody says one of the exceptions is a 1997 amendment under the Texas Public Records Act. It's now commonly referred to as the dead suspect loophole. As UTSA political science professor John Taylor explains, the loophole was created to protect people who were unlawfully or wrongly accused.
What's happened is that police responses to shootings or to activities, they can actually use the law to shield themselves from basically releasing information.
In the Uvalde case, it's speculated this could come into play, especially with the ever-changing storyline presented by law enforcement agencies.
When the governor is saying he's been what he felt was lied to, that tells you there is a crying need for eliminating this loophole within Texas law.
The fight to close that loophole has been a 5-year battle for Moody, but he says no measures have gone far enough.
That's an important public policy that we need to change. Right? It's being abused. It's not the spirit of the law is not being complied with.
Not everyone feels the same. Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas, or CLEAT, said their organization, quote, will always be opposed to closing the loophole, according to an Associated Press article. They offered no further comment when we asked today. In 2019, Governor Greg Abbott refused to sign the Texas Information Act without the loophole included. Moody says he knows the lingering pain that can come from unanswered questions. His community, El Paso, felt the wrath of its own shooting August 3rd, 2019, when 22 people were killed inside of a Walmart.
But being able to understand what happened is helpful. It gives you some sense of closure.
Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan tweeted on June 1st he supports closing the loophole and wants legislation passed next year. With Governor Abbott now saying he feels lied to by law enforcement during the Uvalde shooting, it'll be something to watch going into the next legislative session. Back to you. Lee, thank you. Now, usually we get information by submitting an open records request, and that could be for things like emails, police body camera video, and other records. But in a letter, Uvalde's mayor says that the Uvalde County District Attorney told him not to release those records, at least for now. The mayor says in part, quote, the district attorney told us the material is still being reviewed and her investigation is ongoing. When all investigations and reviews are complete, the city will evaluate the release of city records, end quote. Now, KSAT called and emailed the Uvalde DA's office to get information, but we haven't heard back. Amidst all of this, we also want to continue to remember the victims. Families continue to say final goodbyes. Tomorrow, a prayer service and visitation for Layla Salazar will be held in Uvalde. Her father says each morning he drove her to school. He'd play Sweet Child of Mine, and they'd sing along. On Thursday morning, his 11-year-old daughter will be laid to rest. One man is using Legos to honor the 21 victims in Uvalde. Artist Sean Kinney used to live in Texas, now lives in Amsterdam. These Lego portraits have been seen all around social media, and Kinney has even provided prints to the families left behind. Tomorrow on Good Morning San Antonio, you hear from Kinney about his mission to memorialize the Uvalde victims.
Now, new details continue to come to light in the shooting death of 13-year-old AJ Hernandez. The family's attorney says that the San Antonio police officer who shot and killed that teen has been in a similar incident before. And now the attorney is preparing to file a wrongful death lawsuit. Investigators first said the teen reversed and rammed a stolen car into a police unit earlier this month. But attorney Lee Merritt says that police video really tells a different story. He and the family saw portions of that video in private. He says the cars involved never went beyond 5 miles an hour. Merritt also said the officer closest to the teen drew his gun but did not shoot. But another officer got out of the police unit and fired from a few yards away. Merritt says the DA's office is familiar with the officer.
They were familiar with this officer and that this officer was a quote, repeat customer to the Civil Rights Division, having been involved in a officer-involved shooting just the previous year. They assured us that they were taking the investigation seriously.
So Merritt says the DA's office is expecting to bring a case before grand jury for potential indictments against the officer. For now, Merritt is planning to file the civil rights lawsuit. The officer has been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. Now, San Antonio's city attorney issued a statement acknowledging an active investigation. It goes on to say, quote, without waiting for the facts, Mr. Merritt will say the shooting was not justified. He's advocating for his client. We also expect any information shared publicly by Mr. Merritt concerning the video will be calculated to advance his perspective, end quote.
Now let's talk about your money. It's likely not going as far as it used to with rising prices in groceries, gas, and with the hot weather, electricity. Well, now the Federal Reserve is expected to hike interest rates once again. Analysts predict it will jump 0.75%, the highest increase in nearly 3 decades. While that is expected to slow down inflation, it also means people would need to pay more for credit cards, car loans, and mortgages. And with inflation, San Antonio's food bank says more people are turning to them for help. They say it's because like the perfect storm, like kids are out of school for the summer and they may be missing out on meals. The food bank is now working with the Texas Department of Agriculture and the USDA for a program called Summer Meals.
Summer meals for kids are located at your local Parks and Rec to local nonprofits. It could be a vacation Bible school to a youth basketball league. If kids are congregated, we're generally trying to get meals to those sites.
So if you'd like to learn about these free meals, visit safoodbank.org/summer meals. You can also learn about general food giveaways or sign up to volunteer or offer a donation by visiting the San Antonio Food Bank's website as well.
A San Antonio nonprofit is stepping up as we see yet another product shortage. Pads and tampons, hard to get. Now, the Texas Diaper Bank is giving them out for free, and you can pick them up at the Texas Diaper Bank headquarters. It's on Grandstand Drive. You can go Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4 and Fridays from 8 to noon. And that's until the end of the month, or at least while supplies last. And by the way, there's a limit of 2 packages per person.
Let's take a quick look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. He was already fired twice. Now a San Antonio police officer has lost his latest attempt to get his job back. Javier Perales Jr. was put on indefinite suspension over an allegation he sent a woman explicit photos. The arbitrator ruled there was enough evidence to show Perales was behind the anonymous messages to a woman with whom he'd previously had a one-night stand. His attorneys gave us no comment today. San Antonio firefighters sending out a warning after responding to the latest deadly fire. It is the 12th deadly fire in our city in the last 8 months. It happened on Rio Vista near San Pedro and Jackson Keller. Firefighters say a woman may have been overcome by smoke, but there were not any smoke detectors inside that home. Everyone urged to make sure their smoke detectors are up and working. Investigators say it appears an air conditioner and an extension cord led to the fire inside this north side home. An argument between a couple ends in gunfire. Now a deadly shooting investigation underway. It happened in Seguin early this morning. Investigators say a man and a woman arguing in the front yard of a home on Stagecoach Road after midnight. The Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office says the man pulled a gun out and shot the woman. So deputies fired in return, killing him. The woman currently at BAMC. She's expected to be okay. The Texas Rangers are investigating. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
So still ahead on the night beat, buzzing from a bell tower led to quite the scene in San Antonio. A look at what bee experts had to face coming up.
And San Antonio gearing up for a holiday known as the Second Independence Day in the U.S. The Juneteenth Events San Antonio is preparing to celebrate coming up.
Also, the Supreme Court is faced with a decision on abortion that could change the future for women's health and other agencies. And tonight, we're going to look at the challenges the foster care system is already confronting. It's next on the Night Beat.
A Supreme Court ruling on the future of abortion could be coming as soon as this week, could come as soon as tomorrow. Many people had questions after a leaked draft opinion suggested Roe versus Wade could be overturned.
And there's been concerns about what a potential ban on abortion could mean for women's health care and agencies like the foster care system. As the night team's Patty Santos learned, those behind the foster care system say, too late, it's already struggling, especially when it comes to community-based care.
There has been a reduction of number of kids coming into care, which has made a big difference.
The pieces are slowly coming together for Texas foster kids. Tara Rousset with SJRC Texas is trying to stay positive, but
we still need placements for high acuity youth that have stepped down from maybe short-term psychiatrics.
The agency has partnered with other placing agencies to recruit and retain foster families. FosterTX.org is a one-stop shop for families considering fostering.
If someone's not a good fit for one agency, they may be a good fit for another one, and that's what this website will help.
And it's needed. The state data shows reports to the child abuse hotline calls to Child Protective Services took a slight dip during the pandemic, but are picking back up.
There's just not enough people that help or volunteer or even know how serious the problem is for these children.
Lee Towles' church helps support fostering, adopting families with basic needs, childcare, even just encouragement.
Everyone's first reaction to fostering is, I can't do that. I can't afford it. I'm too old. But my husband and I were in our 50s when we started fostering.
And Rousset says it's this kind of church support that she hopes will help foster kids and families thrive.
The message that I want everybody to hear is the problem is not solved.
And get this, last year the state of Texas had legal responsibility for more than 46,000 children across the state. Some of those kids could eventually end up being adopted. Coming up tomorrow on the Night Beat, we're going to take a look at how the adoption process could be impacted if there are changes to Roe versus Wade. Steve, Stefania.
Patty, thank you. So, okay. This is the first year that Juneteenth is going to be celebrated as a federal holiday. And yes, we're going to see the usual events like the Juneteenth Parade, which is in its 23rd year, along with the Texas Freedom Day celebration at Comanche Lookout Park. There's also going to be a block party, exhibition at IKEA, and an opportunity for families to share their history with the San Antonio African American Community Archive and Museum.
When I just close my eyes and imagine what it must have been like for families to now not have no fear of being separated because of slavery and those kinds of things. So think about how important family is and what we can do.
Now, all the events start this Friday. And another group, Juneteenth San Antonio, is putting on a 4-day celebration. That one also kicks off on Friday at Comanche Park, number 2 on Rigsby Avenue. This is going to happen from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday through Sunday. And then on Monday, there's going to be a golf tournament at the club at Sonterra.
All right, the bells in this tower can now ring out buzz-free after removal of 2 beehives today. This happening at a church on the northwest side. Bee wranglers with the American Honeybee Protection Agency had a challenge on their hands because the beehives were more than 60 feet in the air. Children from the church reported seeing more bees near a garden. Bees are more active in the heat, so the whole removal and relocation process took about 3 hours.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Now we're going to take a live look outside. Yeah, it's a nice shot right there at the Alamo. Temperature right now is 83 degrees. Not too bad, but earlier today, yep, Again, another triple-digit day.
Did have some wind.
Yeah, if you know,
right? So it was like a blow dryer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, guys. But it really doesn't feel all that bad outside there right now with the gusty winds. Winds have gusted up to 40 miles per hour this evening, and we're going to see another windy day tomorrow. But as Stephania hinted, today, the 14th day of the year that we've seen 100 degrees in San Antonio. Hard to believe that we're just halfway through June. It was 98, though, in New Braunfels, 99 in Gonzales, 101 in Uvalde, 103 in Cotulla, 99 in Del Rio. Hotter here in San Antonio than in Del Rio. Del Rio had a little bit more cloud cover than San Antonio today. It's not every day that San Antonio is a little cooler than Del Rio, a little warmer than Del Rio. 84 degrees outside right now. You can see that it is mostly cloudy. So we do have those clouds out there right now, and it's gusty with winds gusting up to about 31 miles per hour. The reason for the clouds is because we've actually got a swirl in the atmosphere right here over the Rio Grande, the Texas and Mexico border. And that is what's going to allow for us to actually shave off a couple of degrees from the high tomorrow. We may not actually get to 100 tomorrow. We'll still be at 98, but hey, we won't be at 100. And that low is going to allow for perhaps 1 or 2 stray showers. They'll be quick moving and won't amount to much, and the chance for rain in your backyard is only 10%, so keep that in mind. But as you can see, early tomorrow morning, there is an indication that we could have 1 or 2 stray showers, and that'll be possible through about lunch as well, especially west of San Antonio. And we're going to have more clouds out there tomorrow than we did today, so partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. And even as we head into the evening, we're still going to have some clouds out there. So your Wednesday shaping up like this, waking up tomorrow morning, 78 degrees, cloudy skies, only a 10% chance for a shower through about 5 p.m. At noon, it'll be 90 degrees, partly cloudy, and in the afternoon, we will have wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour, but those winds will be sustained at 15 to 20. So the hair dryer will be blowing tomorrow. As for the evening hours, temperatures will fall into the 80s. And again, it should be pretty nice in the evening. The time when the winds are going to be the strongest is going to be early in the morning and later in the evening. That's when we could have those wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. But for most of the day, wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour is a safe bet. A neighborhood view of how hot it'll be in your backyard: 97 in Converse, 98 in Seguin, 99 in Pleasanton, 100 in Devine, 99 in Uvalde. Up in the hill country, really not all that bad. 94 in Bernie, 94 in Bulverde, 95 in Comfort, a little bit warmer than average. But here's the thing. We are still going to have high humidity tomorrow. So even though we'll only be at 98, it's still going to feel like 101 in San Antonio. So even though technically we won't get to 100, feeling like it anyway. 100 feeling like in Seguin, 100 in Hondo, and 101 in Sabinal. All right, unfortunately, even though there's a lot of rain across the northern tier of the United States, this heat high is going to stay strong, and it's actually going to move back over Texas in the coming days. So even though we're only going to be at 98 tomorrow, we'll be at 101 by Thursday, and throughout the forecast we'll be close to 100. Saharan dust, if you're sensitive to it, will be particularly dense on Thursday, and over the weekend for Father's Day and Juneteenth, 100 degrees and sunny skies. It's going to be a long summer, guys.
Indeed. Thank you.
All right, it's something we did not see Deshaun Watson do at the end of his tenure with the Houston Texans: face questions from the media.
Yeah, and this is the second time he has since March 25th, and in doing so, the first time he's actually spoken since that eye-opening report by the New York Times. When we come back, he answers the number one question: why should we believe you? And the Golden State Warriors just one win away from another ring. Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
With 2 new lawsuits set to be filed, bringing the total number of 26, Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson chose to meet with the media today as the Browns open their mandatory minicamp. This is also the first time Watson has spoken since that blockbuster New York Times story that reported Watson booked massages with 66 different women during a 19-month period, and that the Texans knowingly or not aided Watson by providing him with access to a exclusive Houstonian resort and spa where some of the massages took place, and non-disclosure agreements as early as 2020. But once again, Watson denied any inappropriate behavior or mistreatment of women. So he was asked, why should we believe you?
I understand that question, and I definitely respect it. But I feel like with this environment coming off the football field, it's hard to answer that question, especially without talking to anybody on my legal team. But at the same time, I've been honest and I've been truthful about my stance, and that's, I never forced anyone, I never assaulted anyone. So that's what, I've been saying it from the beginning, and I'm going to continue to do that. And until all the facts come out on the legal side, I have to continue to just, go with the process with my legal team and the court of law.
While Watson doesn't face any criminal charges, there are mounting calls in the Cleveland area for the Browns to part ways with Watson. Cowboys tight end Dalton Schultz has reported for the Dallas Cowboys mandatory minicamp that began today. Schultz has not appeared in any of the voluntary organized team activities, wanting a new long-term contract worked out before the July 15 deadline. He has already agreed to the franchise tag of $10.9 million. Will have to play under that one-year tender if the two sides don't arrive at some type of agreement 10 days before training camp is set to start. The Golden State Warriors are now just one win away from clinching their fourth NBA championship in the last 8 years after beating Boston in San Francisco last night in Game 5, 104-94. What made this victory so special for the Warriors is that they were able to beat Boston without Steph Curry making a single three-pointer, 0 for 9, breaking a postseason streak that had gone 132 straight games before last night. And coming off one of the best performances of his postseason career when he scored 43 points in Game 4 victory in Boston that included 7 three-pointers. Others would have to step up, and they did. Andrew Wiggins had the postseason game of his life, leading the Warriors with 26 points and 13 rebounds. And Klay Thompson, playing on the 3-year anniversary of his first serious injury, contributed another 21.
I think Steph was probably due for a game like this. He's been shooting the ball so well that, at some point he was going to have a tough night. But we've got a lot of talent, a lot of depth that can make up for that. And the guys did a good job of that tonight.
Boston Celtics now face an elimination game Thursday night back at home after gave up back-to-back losses for the first time this postseason. Before last night's loss, the Celtics had rebounded 7 straight times from losses. Now they're trying to avoid 3 in a row in order to stay alive in this championship series. 2 things must occur in order for that to happen. The Celtics must cut down on turnovers, giving up 33 in their back-to-back defeats, and they must have a better game from Jaylen Brown, who started out 2 out of 11, and Derek White, who was just 0 for 4 from the field for just 1 point. Did fatigue play a factor in the fourth quarter where it appeared Jason and Jaylen ran out of gas?
We ran them obviously a longer stretch to get back in the game in the third. Looked like our decision making waned a little bit in the fourth, and could have been from that. We weren't getting a whole lot of production off the bench. Went with them a little bit longer, being that they got us back in and tried to use the timeouts for their rest. But we got away from a little bit of what got us back in the game in the third, and decision-making and fatigue could be a part of it.
All right, see what happens on Thursday. How to get tickets to the KSAT Pigskin Classic next. If you would like to be part of our first annual KSAT Pigskin Classic, that will feature 6 area high school football teams competing in 3 separate games, all inside the Alamo Dome on Saturday, August the 27th. Here's how. Tickets are now on sale at all Las Palapas locations, and it's just $15 for all 3 games, starting at 11:30 with Smithson Valley against Reagan, followed by Judson and Johnson at 3:30, nightcap between Steele and Brennan at 7:30. You can go to KSAT.com, check out the QR code as well if you'd like. And if you can't be there, you can watch it all live right here on KSAT. And PGA Hope, which introduces golf to all veterans to enhance their mental, social, physical, and emotional well-being, has instruction sessions starting this Wednesday and running through July 20th, and added locations that include Hyatt Hill Country, TPC San Antonio, and Fort Sam, just to name a few.
It's a 6-week program that is free for any veteran. HOPE stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. It's a program designed by the PGA of America to introduce golf back to veterans who might be struggling with PTSD, physical disabilities.
For more information, you can go to stpgareach.org/Mac Wiley Golf Center. You do that right now to register and also get more information as we speak. And getting back to the KSAT Pigskin Classic, one of the beauties of this event, it's in the Alamo Dome on August the 27th.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be 150 degrees outside.
Want to see football and not lose 10 pounds and sweating? Come to the Alamo Dome.
We got air conditioning.
We got AC.
Love it. We'll be right back.